Over 50, 3 habits Japanese elders do to cleanse kidneys and lower creatinine, senior wellness. Every 30 minutes, your kidneys filter all your blood. After 50, this process slows down. Creatinine builds up. High numbers scare millions. But Japanese elders discovered habits that keep kidneys working longer. 3 daily actions cut stress on these tiny filters while keeping food delicious. They include how they season meals, how they balance protein, and even how they stop before getting too full. At the end, I will share one extra calming practice that works beyond food. We'll begin with the foundation of flavor and kidney health. Let's start with umami-rich, low-sodium cooking. When kidneys are under pressure, the very first nutrient that makes the situation worse is sodium. Too much sodium pulls water into the bloodstream, which increases blood pressure, and that added pressure forces your kidneys to filter harder than they should. Over time, this constant strain damages the small blood vessels inside your kidneys, making it harder to clear creatinine and other waste. Researchers at the National Kidney Foundation have long emphasized that reducing sodium is one of the most important changes for slowing kidney decline. Now let's take a closer look at how Japanese elders manage this challenge in a way that not only lowers sodium, but actually increases flavor. They often use umami-rich ingredients such as dried mushrooms, bonito flakes, and seaweed. Umami is considered the 5th taste alongside sweet, sour, bitter, and salty, and it creates a sense of savoriness that tricks the brain into feeling satisfied with less salt. When you taste umami, your tongue senses glutamates and nucleotides that send signals to the brain saying, "This food is full and complete." This helps people cut salt naturally while still enjoying their meals. Dried shiitake mushrooms, for example, contain natural glutamates along with fiber and B vitamins. Just 15 grams can give you about 2 grams of fiber, which helps reduce constipation and indirectly lowers pressure on the bladder and kidneys. Kombu seaweed provides iodine and minerals that support thyroid function, and the thyroid helps regulate the metabolic rate, which has an indirect effect on how efficiently your kidneys handle waste. Isn't it interesting how one simple broth ingredient can influence multiple organs at the same time? So how can you apply this in daily cooking? One very effective method is making a simple broth known as dashi. Place a strip of kombu and a couple of dried shiitake mushrooms in 4 cups of water. Simmer for 20 minutes and strain. That broth can be used as a base for soups or whole grains, or you can sip it plain in the afternoon. Even 1 to 2 cups a day can gradually lower your salt dependency while adding protective compounds for your kidneys. Have you ever tried making a broth like this instead of reaching for a salt shaker? If not, would you be willing to replace just one salty dish with this option for a week? When buying these ingredients, it is important to choose low sodium or no added salt miso paste if you decide to include miso. Stay away from instant soup packets because they often contain hidden sodium and preservatives that strain the kidneys. Look for dried mushrooms and seaweed in sealed packaging and store them in glass jars to keep their natural compounds intact. Still, there are mistakes to avoid. Overusing seaweed can lead to too much iodine, which can upset thyroid balance and indirectly affect kidney health. Commercial miso soup packets are another trap because they may appear healthy, but often contain more sodium than a fast food meal. Keeping portions moderate and choosing clean products makes all the difference. Next up is about protein, but not the kind that overworks your kidneys. We'll look at the lean, kidney-gentle power of fish and plant-based proteins. Before we move on, I'd love to know where you're watching from and what kidney concerns you're dealing with right now. If you're working to lower creatinine or support kidney health, make sure to subscribe to KIDNEASE and turn on the notification bell. And if this content helps you, type 1 in the comments or 0 if it doesn't. Balanced protein is one of the most important foundations for people who want to protect their kidneys while still keeping their strength. Too much protein from red meat loads the body with urea and creatinine, which are waste products that weakened kidneys struggle to filter efficiently. The National Kidney Foundation has repeatedly highlighted that when these waste levels rise, they can cause fatigue, muscle breakdown, and even further kidney damage over time. That is why the right amount of protein, not too much and not too little, matters more than most people realize. Let's take a closer look at what research shows about this balance. Studies from the Japanese Society of Nephrology point out that older adults who maintain protein intake close to 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight preserve lean muscle while still keeping kidney function more stable. Going higher than this level creates more nitrogenous waste, which pushes the kidneys to work harder. Going much lower can weaken muscles, reduce mobility, and even increase risk of falls. Have you ever noticed how some older adults lose strength quickly when they cut out protein? That weakness is often a sign of muscle wasting caused by under-consuming the very nutrient they still need. Now let's turn our attention to how Japanese elders manage this balance better than many other populations. They lean on fish and plant sources far more often than red meat. Salmon, mackerel, and sardines are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which research from the American Heart Association shows can reduce inflammation in blood vessels and also calm inflammatory markers in the kidneys themselves. This anti-inflammatory effect is one reason fish eaters in Japan show lower rates of chronic kidney disease progression compared to heavy meat eaters in Western countries. Plant proteins also play a central role in this approach. Soy-based foods like tofu and edamame provide complete proteins without the saturated fat load that beef or lamb carries. A cup of tofu supplies around 10 grams of protein along with calcium, which supports bone strength that often declines during kidney disease due to poor mineral balance. The National Institutes of Health has found that soy protein may even lower cholesterol, which indirectly helps protect blood vessels that feed the kidneys. When plant proteins are eaten daily, they not only give variety, but also ease the metabolic burden on the kidneys. Let's examine how this looks in meals. Having 2 or 3 servings of fish weekly, preferably baked or grilled, supports protein needs without adding harmful trans fats that frying often creates. Pairing this with daily plant protein servings such as beans, tofu, or edamame gives the body steady nourishment without overloading the kidneys. Even simple meals like a tofu and vegetable stir-fry served over brown rice provide protein, fiber, and minerals while staying light on the kidneys. Buying decisions also influence kidney health more than people think. Choosing wild-caught or responsibly farmed fish ensures fewer contaminants, like heavy metals, that can burden kidney function. Frozen fish fillets are often handled more safely than those sitting on display for days. For soy, going for organic and non-genetically modified options means fewer additives that the kidneys need to filter out. But let's not ignore the risks here. Overuse of protein shakes or powders can overwhelm the kidneys because they deliver dense protein that bypasses the natural slow digestion of whole foods. Relying only on animal protein while ignoring plant-based options also increases acid load in the body, which research from the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases links to faster kidney decline. If you're finding this valuable so far, please take a second to like this video. It might feel small, but it tells YouTube this message matters and helps kidneys reach more people who need it. Now, let's move from proteins to the way meals themselves are structured. This one is not about what you eat, but how you eat. Let's take a closer look at the mindful and balanced meal pattern called Hara Hachibu. This habit may sound simple, but it has a powerful impact on both metabolism and kidney health. When you stop eating before you feel completely full, you give your body a chance to digest food in a way that does not overload the system with excess calories, sodium, and protein byproducts. Overeating forces the kidneys to clear more urea, creatinine, and fluid, which increases the workload on already delicate nephrons. By keeping intake just short of fullness, the kidneys process less metabolic waste, and this protects their function for longer. The practice of hara-hachi-bu is usually tied to the way meals are structured. Instead of one large dish, meals are served in small, varied portions that include vegetables, legumes, sea vegetables, and fermented foods. This variety means that no single nutrient is consumed in excess, while the body still gets access to a wide spectrum of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Nutrition researchers at Kyoto University found that people who regularly eat a wider variety of plant-based foods have higher antioxidant levels in the blood, which helps protect kidney cells from oxidative stress. When meals contain smaller portions of different food groups, the body also digests nutrients more evenly, which keeps blood sugar more stable and supports long-term metabolic health. A typical balanced plate might include 1 cup of miso vegetable soup, half a cup of steamed greens topped with sesame seeds, a small portion of grilled fish or tofu, and half a cup of rice or soba noodles. Each dish contributes something unique. Green vegetables provide potassium and fiber, though portion control is important for people with advanced kidney damage who need to manage potassium levels carefully. Sea vegetables like wakame or kombu contribute magnesium and calcium, which are minerals often lacking in older adults. The grilled fish offers omega-3 fatty acids, while tofu gives plant-based protein with calcium that helps support bone strength. Even the rice or soba noodles play a role by supplying steady energy through complex carbohydrates instead of sharp spikes from processed grains. Another benefit of this eating style is the pace. Eating slowly gives the digestive system more time to process sodium and potassium, which helps keep blood pressure stable and reduces fluid retention. It also gives the brain time to register satiety signals, so you naturally eat less without feeling deprived. Many people in modern cultures rush meals or multitask while eating, and that habit leads to overeating and poor digestion. Do you usually stop eating when you feel 80% full? Or do you find yourself finishing everything on the plate because you eat too fast? This question matters because awareness of fullness is a key step in protecting kidney health through diet. There are also practical steps that make mindful eating easier. Buying fresh vegetables when possible ensures the lowest sodium intake. But frozen vegetables are also a reliable backup and often just as nutrient-rich since they are frozen soon after harvest. It is important to avoid canned vegetables that come with added sodium, as that extra salt quietly raises blood pressure and kidney strain. Another mistake many people make is assuming that healthy snacks such as nuts or dried fruits can be eaten without limit. While they are nutrient-dense, they also add calories and in some cases more potassium than kidneys can comfortably handle. Eating too quickly is another common error, since it overrides the natural signals that would normally prevent overeating. Hara-hachi-bu is not a rigid rule but a gentle reminder to respect the limits of your body. When practiced consistently, it reduces the daily burden on the kidneys and promotes longevity by keeping metabolism balanced. Before we wrap up, there is one more simple but powerful tool Japanese elders rely on, and you can do it at home without changing your meals. It is our bonus habit, the evening green tea ritual. Green tea has been a daily ritual in Japanese households for centuries, and it is more than just a comforting drink. The main compounds in green tea are called catechins, and these antioxidants protect kidney tissue from oxidative stress, which is one of the hidden drivers of kidney aging. Oxidative stress builds up when free radicals accumulate, and catechins neutralize them before they damage the delicate nephron cells that filter blood. Drinking green tea in the early evening also provides a mild diuretic effect that helps the body flush out extra waste products before sleep, which reduces the burden on the kidneys overnight. The National Cancer Institute has reported that regular tea drinkers often show lower markers of kidney and liver stress compared to non-tea drinkers. There is another layer of benefit linked to relaxation. Green tea naturally contains an amino acid called L-theanine, which calms the nervous system and encourages more restful sleep. Better sleep means lower nighttime stress hormone levels, and this gives the kidneys a chance to function more smoothly during the night. 1 cup of brewed green tea contains around 30 milligrams of catechins and about 25 milligrams of caffeine, which is much lower than coffee and gentle enough for most seniors. The best way to prepare it is by steeping 1 teaspoon of loose leaves in a cup of hot water for 2 to 3 minutes, and it is best enjoyed around 6 to 7 in the evening. Drinking it later can disrupt sleep, which cancels out some of its benefits. So now you have food habits and even a calming evening ritual that Japanese elders swear by. Let's quickly recap everything before we close. Umami-rich and low-sodium cooking lets you cut down salt without losing flavor by using mushrooms and seaweed. Balanced protein intake with lean fish and plant proteins gives strength without overwhelming the kidneys. Mindful eating through hara hachibu keeps meals lighter and more varied, which prevents metabolic overload. And lastly, the evening green tea ritual calms the body, provides antioxidants, and supports kidney health overnight. These simple habits together create a daily rhythm that protects kidney function and improves overall well-being. If this video gave you clarity, please don't leave without subscribing to KIDNEASE. And if you feel this solution truly connected with your struggle, type relief in the comments. I'd love to see your response.